Let me no. Hey, what's up? Mm-hmm. Yeah. What's up, guys? How is everybody doing? Yeah, what's up? Hold on, guys. Yo, what's up, guys? How is everybody doing? Well, someone's here. It's Krishan. Hello, Krishan.
Jakey Baba.
Hey, what's up, brother?
What's going on?
I already sent Chad the link, by the way. Chad already has the link. It's in his emails.
Who?
Chad Zumach.
Oh, we may be in for a little treat today.
Yeah, but I got a question for you.
Fire away.
Are you looking forward to AEW tonight?
Not one bit.
Someone else is here. Oh,
I don't
Reverend's
watch.
here. My friend Reverend Dream is here. How you doing, Rev?
Hey Jake, how you doing, brother?
Yeah.
Hey, Rev.
Sorry I haven't been on the last few times. I tried to get in the other way and I could never get in, so this way was pretty easy.
Hey Rev, this is Krishan the Dawn. Krishan, this is Reverend Dream.
Hey Chris, how's it going, brother?
Krishan.
Good. How are you, Reverend?
I'm blessed, man. I'm blessed. Listen to the rain and the thunder today.
Yeah.
If you ever
See, you're a military guy, huh?
Yes, I'm served in Germany before the wall went down.
Nice. Thank you for your service, sir.
You're welcome. I appreciate it. I do.
If you ever see this on my on one of the fennels, this is Reverend Dream. Reverend Dream sent me that.
Nice.
I usually wear mine, but I figured today I'd bring in my wolf dog Luna.
Yeah. By the way, happy Memorial Day weekend.
Thank you, Jake. I appreciate it. But
Yeah.
this weekend ain't about us vets that's still around. It's about the ones who left and paid the ultimate price. My brothers and sisters in the ground right now, and I wrote a song about them. It's on my YouTube channel, where it says Memorial Day, not happy. Because everybody always says Happy Memorial Day, and to a soldier, Memorial Day is the most somber day of the year.
Yeah, I was thinking about that actually, like, because I actually heard it on a podcast. Somebody wrote "Sad Memorial Day," but I was like, what would you actually say to a soldier on Memorial Day? Because I know it's not about the ones that are alive, but
yes,
what's the way to say it? What's the proper way to say it?
A lot of people say, a happy Memorial Day, thank you for your service. Well, you can still say thank you for your service, but this one ain't about us. So you say thank you for your service. I'm thinking of you on this day.
Yeah.
Because a lot of soldiers like me, I'm sorry, Jake, a lot of soldiers like me have PTSD of the things that they've seen. And Memorial Day brings into reality that we was actually the ones that was able to survive. And with that being, we always blame ourselves. Why couldn't we be where our brothers or sisters was? Why did we get to survive and they didn't? So,
survivor's guilt.
Yes, very bad. And this weekend it's been real bad for me. It starts when everybody starts on the Friday and it ends that Monday night. Well, it don't end. It will always carry through to me, but it becomes easier on that Tuesday. So know that the veteran that you're probably looking and thinking might be something and somewhere in his mind that might not be aligned with a happy thought.
How do you how do you cope with that? Like you're saying, especially through these couple days, how do you get through that? Is it thoughts or something you do?
Good answer for that. Hold on just a minute. Let me show you right here.
Bible.
I stay in my book, and my book feeds my soul. It answers my questions. It heals me during that process. It's full of prayers. It's full of instructions of how we should do, how we should be, and how we should forgive.
Hey, we have a question in the. We have a question on how's any updates on Miss Tammy?
Well, Miss Tammy fell night before last on her leg, and her knee's swollen real bad.
I thought you said you had to go for like an MRI or a scan.
She did have a MRI and a CAT scan on her brain. She has Parkinson's disease. She has extreme anxiety. They said it's at the danger zone, so they medicated her. She's still dealing with back issues, her spine, her scoliosis, degenerative bone disease, spinal bifida. She's
Yeah.
worse for wear, but she's tough as boot leather, and
Yeah.
her faith aligns where she needs to be. So,
Kershawn, Miss Tammy is Reverend's wife.
Oh, okay,
yeah,
okay,
yeah,
gotcha. I was just about to ask. Thank you.
we've been married 40 years.
Wow.
Yeah, it's
What
it's, it's been an
sorry.
interesting trip, but it's been a good trip.
What is the secret to a good marriage?
Good
Well,
question, Jake.
you got to learn to give and take. A lot of people think that marriage is about a battle. I'm going to overcome or I'm going to conquer you. Here again, I line with the Bible, and the man's supposed to be the head of the household. And I know I'll catch slack from a lot of women, but we should treat the women like we do our church, and a woman should treat their husband like the head of the church. So
Yeah.
as long as we do that, then we will find out that there'll be a lot of give and take.
Yeah.
Bill Crosby says it's best when the wife goes complaining, you turn your head up, you throw your hand up, and then you just go on. A happy wife is a happy life.
Yeah.
And, I mean, you can't give in to them all the time, and they can't do you the same because it's like a kid with a switch. You can't hold that switch from that child and expect that kid to be prim and proper. Spare the rod, spoil the child. Same way as in a marriage.
Interesting. So you got to know when to hold them, know when to fold them.
Pretty
When it
much
Yeah.
so.
comes to them. Yeah.
Pretty much so.
So I know that did you hear about we lost a good a legend, George Winch, that last week.
No, I
Yeah.
didn't. I sure did.
Hey,
Norm from
Norm
Cheers.
from
Oh,
Cheers.
Norm, yes, I
Yeah.
remember. Yes, and that was sad. He always brought a smile to people's faces. One-liners were so catchy that
Yeah.
sitting at that bar, he could make you smile even on your darkest of days.
I remember I remember watching Top Chef Boston, and he made an guest appearance on it because they were at Cheers. I think they were at Cheers at the bar.
Right.
You know, but what people don't realize, we we're losing a lot of people. We lost Sabu on Mother's Day.
Right.
Professional wrestler, ECW original Sabu, and
I know
we
who
lose
Sabu is.
we lose a lot of people.
Yeah.
One of the things that people who and by the way, I'm actually let me show you something. I'm actually using my hand for a mount to mount my tablet so I can walk
Mm.
around.
Creative.
A lot of
Yeah.
people are paying hundreds of dollars for mounts to mount their stuff onto their shoulder, on their arms and stuff. I'm doing it for free, just using my hand.
God
Right.
gave us mounts, right?
Yeah.
I give his hand. When I say mounts, I mean they go into a store to get like wristbands just to put their chat on their arms.
Yeah. Know what a mount is.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just. But by the way, I just want to say that I do appreciate everybody that comes on. I thought you were mad at me for something, Dream.
Oh no, brother. I just couldn't get into your channel. I mean, the last times we tried StreamYard, it just would not let me in, Jake. It wasn't that I
Yeah,
wasn't trying, son. I love you, Jake, and don't you never think that I don't.
it's I've I this year's taught me a lot about friendship.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
and because I've had the last few months, I had people that I thought was my friends say some nasty stuff about me, saying that I need to go to a mental hospital, I need to be put in a padded room. But the thing is, it's like I should learn. I should for me is like I have that temper where it goes 0 to 60 in about 2 seconds.
Oh, Jake, you ain't the only one, son. I do too. And, that's where we have to learn to stop, take a deep breath, and say this thing. What would Jesus say or do? And if we
Yeah.
realize what he would say and what he would do, then maybe it might curb what we would say. And every time that you get to where that feeling is, give it to him, Jake, because he can, if he can make you, he can break you of any old habits or
Yes,
any
sir.
old ways. And
Yes, sir.
don't let others' ideology rule who you are. You are
Yeah.
who God made you. You was perfect in His
Yeah.
image, and whether anyone understands it or not does not matter. It's only He that matters.
I've been
Yeah, Jake.
Reverend. Sorry,
Oh, go ahead. No, go ahead, Jake. I'll say
Reverend.
something.
Reverend. I've been jumping into the wormhole of prosperity gospel.
Yeah, I
I
said
don't.
I'm not like that, Jake. You don't see me pass around a plate. You don't hear me tell you. If you give me so much, you're going to increase so much. I'm not that kind of man.
I know
That's
that.
why I'm not even monetized. A lot of my friends that also teach, like Candace Growing and Grace, she could have very well be monetized at 68,000 viewers, but she don't. And the reason being because we prosper enough, we get our needs met. And I'm not the richest man. I live in a shack, probably worse than you, Jake.
Yeah.
But I've given my wealth away. I gave my wealth away. I picked up the cross, and now I'm comfortable in everything that I do. If I need a loaf of bread, God will supply it somehow, some way.
Yeah.
And if I depend on myself to supply anything that I have, it's always going to be worry and strife, and it's going to be a war inside my brain. And I don't need to be fighting my own wars in my head because Satan does that enough for all of us. And once we realize that we can just turn it over to God and lay all of our free will at the foot of the cross, because Jesus done paid for it all, and if we really take that into consideration, we will know that He will take care of us. He says that even if the birds don't sow and reap, but their needs are met, just like the grass that grows. You hear the thunder cracking in the rain. The grass don't have to go out there and grab some food and some fertilizer and grow on its own. I mean, my yard is ankle deep or knee deep because the rain is being poured down on the last few weeks, and God has met the grass's needs, and the grass and the rocks even sing praises unto Him. If they can do it, if a rock can sing a praise to God, why as we as humans can't?
Yeah.
Oh, well said.
By the way, somebody I hate. I always don't want to put this comment up, but and
Go ahead. I can't see it, but go ahead, Jake. What does it say? Read it for me.
says Jake, don't forget it's okay not to believe any of this religious man's garbage he's spewing.
What's the name of that person?
Penelope Parasite.
Penelope Parasite. No wonder. Listen to the last name Parasite. Something that somebody else and sucks the life off of them. Penelope, I'm not mad at you, but I will be praying for you.
Hey, what's up, Chris?
What's up?
Well, it's also, hey, Chris, what's up?
What's up?
I just wanted to add in the thing of like just to bring it to a even second. I'm a Christian myself, But even to make a secular argument, you can't claim that like people don't derive their morality from Christian ethics in America. You know what I mean? America is based on Christian ethics. So even if you are an atheist or whatever, you should thank Christians for you not getting killed every day or you not getting your stuff stolen. Like you have to have an appreciation for it.
Very well said, Chris. You know, even
Thank
the atheists, I had one as a student that came to me. I taught boxing for 35 years, and I was in a violent sport, and I was a bad man. One time, nobody on this panel would have liked me or my words. They was sharp, they was crisp, and they was always to the point of pain. And to be able to be given a heart of flesh and realize that forgiveness is 70 times 7. You know, we have to learn in this society today, in America and all across the world, that, you know, even Americans, you open up your dollar bill, you get ready to pay somebody for something. If you don't believe in God, look at what God had just gave you by you being able to pay for it, because right there on that dollar it says, "In God we trust." Now, as we're getting into this plastic society, and I'm going to jump down that rabbit hole because I can dig my way out real easy. But as we go into paying for things with plastic, we realize that the equation of "in God we trust" might be taken away from the simple things in life, reminding us that He gave us it all. Now, if we pay for plastic, we might be able to forget it in a sense being spoken. But one day, when you die, you're going to wish you would have read that saying many days over, because I want to tell you what, I've died. And I don't care what anybody says to me. I stood before Christ, and I was a sinful creature, but He forgave me. He forgave me of it all. And He could have very well just sent me to hell and not gave me a chance to come back. And it wasn't no near-death experience. It was 20 minutes. They was getting ready to hang a toe tag on me and send me out to the crematorium. And I'm just fortunate that He brought me back to be able to tell the truth, not my own ideology, not my own thoughts, because none of it ain't. I mean, the Holy Spirit fills me. I got brain cancer, and I have for a long time now since the accident. I shouldn't be able to even talk to you anything comprehensible with any form of intelligence whatsoever. But yet here I am answering any questions you have. If that ain't the Holy
You know,
Spirit living in me, I don't know what else.
you know what? And the thing is, it's like, I have always, there's a lot of channels out there. Like there's a lot of channels like Revs that they don't monetize. They don't even put donation link for them to get money. They just do it because they want to. And by the way, I did just say, by the way, to the people that, so let me say this. If you don't like what is saying on panel, you could always leave.
I don't like it.
Or they can,
No, I'm just
or they
kidding.
can always come up and have the courage to say something.
Yeah.
How you doing, by the way? My name.
Stand on your convictions.
Oh,
I'd like to introduce myself while you get a breath. My name is Chris Peeps. How you doing, Reverend?
birthday boy. Happy
My
birthday,
honor to meet
Chris.
you, brother.
Happy birthday,
It's not my
Chris.
birthday. Don't listen to him. It's Jesus's birthday. No, I'm just kidding. I'm Muslim. Salam alaikum, everyone.
Right on.
No,
I
I'm
coulda
kidding.
guessed.
No, I'm not.
Today
Well, that's good.
is his born day. Today's his born day.
It's Reverend Stone Cold Steve Austin. Open up a can of whoop ass.
Back in the old
Sorry.
days, yes, I agree with you. Yes, I would. Maybe by the 55-gallon drum full.
Dude, if I close my eyes, I would think I'm talking to Steve Austin right now.
You know, a lot of people say Macho Man Randy Savage.
Oh yeah.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, AEW. By the way, AEW is tonight.
Damn right it is.
Right on.
AEW. It's. But I don't watch because number one, I think that when Bryan Danielson left, it took a lot of the fire away from it.
Now, are they competing with NXT?
No, I don't think so.
I thought Battleground was tonight too.
Chris.
I don't know. I don't pay attention to WWE. I'm watching AEW. They're
But
competing with the Knicks game. I know the Knicks are on tonight.
Ah.
the New York Knicks. By the way, we have
Knickerbockers.
We have Mississippi, Arkansas, Florida, and New York.
I just want to make a quick statement to the Reverend talking about the dollar bill and Jesus. And so the whole system of money was so Jesus saw the bankers in Jerusalem, and he saw them dealing with money and only cared about money. He flipped the table over and said money, money, gambling, all that is a sin.
Yes.
So money is never involved with Jesus or God. And people were hunter-gatherers for 40,000 years before they even started making money. They would barter, they would exchange. Here's a piece of meat for a fish and stuff like that.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, but also Jesus did follow the laws of the land for the most part whenever he did travel. So Jesus did pay taxes as well. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
like there's a thing to be said about like what's the best like system that we have on earth as far as like what's the most fair and all that. American capitalism has proven to be one of the most fair.
True.
I'm not saying it's the most honest or least corrupt. It's corruptible like any other man-made system, but it based on free markets and all that, everybody has sort of a shot at least.
Yeah.
So I think it's all based on the whole thing of in God we trust on our money. It's sort of just keeping the idea that we are under God, like we're not better than God or over God.
Well, money is not is a sin. Money is not a sin. It's the root. It's the root of that sin. If you love it more than you love God,
Right.
if you're wealthy, there's that
Oh,
train.
the train's coming.
Yeah, it's a train of salvation. It rolls through here, and I always tell everybody, you only need one ticket to get on board, and that's Christ Jesus. And
Not yet, Lord.
And you're guaranteed to end up in the place you need to end up. Track's only going one way. And all you have to do is give up that ultimate price.
End of the line.
Free will. Your price is free will. Get your ticket, and it's easily bought because it costs you nothing but your own self.
The light at the end of the tunnel.
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
I want to tell you what, he is the light, man. When I stood before Christ, he must have been 40 foot tall. And, if you looked out in the sun and you look straight up, one sun's pretty bright, I agree. Most would say at 115, it might cook your retinas after 10 minutes of looking. But if you look at Christ Jesus before him, you're looking at 20 of those suns magnified. Now, let me ask you, how long can you look? Only by the blink of an eye. And I fell on my knees weeping, knowing every sin. When I closed my eyes, guys, it was like somebody spun a Rolodex.
Does Miss Tammy have your phone?
Huh?
Does Miss Tammy have your phone?
It's my phone.
She has her phone, and she's under my name. We have two phones, and
hey,
she's
Miss
linked
Tammy.
into mine.
Hi, Jake.
She's hearing you, brother.
Yeah.
Hey, Jake.
She does that to me on the internet, and everybody's saying, "How can you type while you're talking?" And I can't. I can't even spit.
That's what I said. Did Miss Tammy have your phone again?
Yeah, she has her own phone with her own number, and but it's linked into my channel. And then she has another phone that's
so
linked
Miss Tammy can see. Sorry, Miss Tammy can see the comments of this person calling you a con man. This person.
Yeah, of course.
Jake, can you actually pull up one of the comments, because it actually proves how like it doesn't even make sense on its face. It's the one that says, it's from Penelope Parasite. It says you derive your morality, where you derive your morality from.
Yeah. My morality.
Basically, she says, I'm sorry, Rev, but she basically says you derive your morality from your morality. That doesn't
No,
explain anything. It doesn't make sense.
Oh,
It's
here it is.
circular
my
argument.
morality comes from Christ. Because if you would have knew me before, you would have known I wouldn't have had morality, especially to someone called Parasite. I mean, you know what I mean.
Well,
She hasn't. You know, here's the thing, and I've noticed, you get attacked when you carry the light. Why? Because it invokes the demons within the others, and she apparently has a lot of demons, and I forgive her 70 times 7, and I pity her. I pity the fool, like
I
my
pity
friend
the
said.
fool.
Yeah, I
I
know him well. He
I
used to
got
fight where
some.
I fought. So
I got a couple of quick thoughts, and including probably what some people in the chat are writing about. Is the first thought I have is that there's a lot of people that say when they die is that it's over. You're in nothingness. There's no Jesus. There's no heaven. There's no nothing. With that being said, she's talking about morality, meaning that the life you're living right now is all you have. That's what God gave us to live on earth, and that's all we have. So you need to make the best of it. It's a gift from God to live on earth. But you're saying you saw everything when you passed away, which some people say that too. But so I'm in the middle of whether this is all you have and this is a great gift from God, or this is just the beginning.
Well, even the
This
Bi-
is
even the Bible says that not everybody's going to be saved. Not everybody's going to have
and not
salvation.
everybody's
So
going to believe. You know, I
yeah.
tried to when I came back, I tried to save the world, man, through Christ Jesus. I tell everybody how he saved me and turned me from an alcoholic drinking 2.5 gallons a week, you know, three and a half packs of cigarettes, a womanizer, everything in the world that you could be, I was. And when I came back, in 1 second, guys, when I closed my eyes, I felt the forgiveness of him instantly. And it was like he wrapped a blanket of joy and peace and love around me. I don't care if anybody believes in me or not. It don't matter to me because I'm in a schoolyard full of children. Some are good children, some are bullies. Uh, Hence, the few of the commenters in here might just be just that. But, you know, in the school ground, I'm not there to win who I am or what I am. I'm there to learn education. And as I'm learning in this life, there's only A's and F's. There's no B's, C's, or D's. You're not going to get to the next life if you get that lucky by the skin of your teeth with a B, C, or D. You're either going to get an A for passing or you're going to get an F for failing. Now, you're going to hear two things when you die. When you stand before Christ, and you remember this, Miss Penelope, there'll be two things that you'll hear. It will be welcome, good and faithful servant, you know, entered the gates of heaven. Or you'll hear, you know, the other one, which you're not going to like, Miss Penelope, if you continue the life that you have. And it's, you know, it's going to be one that's going to be ringing in your ear for eternity. And it's like, you know, you worker of iniquity, you know, you're not going to be here. So you just might want to think about your equations that you're thinking because it's much larger than anyone can comprehend. If he can create the world, you know, and everything in it and the heavens above and all the stars, he knows every star. Can anybody in this channel tell me any name of any star that I'd point out to the sky? Of course
Sure.
not.
It's the North
What-
Star. Maybe.
The North Star, yeah, that's as good as we could get. But
So I want to also say, and by the way, I don't think that Penelope, like I said before, if you don't like what we're talking about, this is so.
She should
Here's
come
the
on.
thing.
yeah,
Well,
come up. Come
Well,
on
no,
up.
I don't agree. I don't agree with everything he just said, and a lot of people don't agree. That's your own thoughts and beliefs. Everyone's got different thoughts and beliefs, so you can't tell someone they're wrong and that they're going to go somewhere else. That's what they believe, and
Yeah.
and Jesus forgives everyone, forgives all your sins, and
See, here's the thing, Jay. I know when I come up on your panel, there's
Yeah.
going to be a lot of haters on me. I know that. And I'm judged accordingly. But
Yeah.
for
Well, there's
those
no one hating on you. It's your own opinions and beliefs, which is great, and it's great that has improved your life. And I'm glad to hear that you had the blanket and all that. And so it's your opinions, but you can't go and tell someone with different opinions you're wrong and you're going to have
I
a problem.
I don't. I won't.
All right. Well, you kind of just did,
Not
but
my,
all right.
It's not my opinion, and it's not my thoughts on any of this
All right.
stuff.
Let me read this. This is Penelope Paris. This is Double P saying
It's
this.
parasite. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Christ is an embarrassment, is a tool to keep people stupid. He keeps voting for conspiracy theory. The only thing you have on me is the community of your clownish belief. I like it if you can't take me, type and cry about it. Pray to your false God for some patience.
Right, which you can't say that either, because that's what most people believe in Jesus. So you can't condemn them for believing in Jesus either. So,
Well, a lot of smart people follow Christ, and a lot of dumb people are atheists. Like, how does that equate necessarily to intelligence?
it's just what you believe. I don't think it equates, but I mean, Jesus. You got to also think that Jesus was around in the time 000, which was 2025 years ago, and before Jesus was even around for 30,000 to 40,000 years, there was no Jesus. So you can't tell people who don't believe in Jesus, because guess what?
Yeah,
Every
but
person on earth before Jesus was born didn't believe in Jesus, and Jesus was a Jew himself.
yes, but before Jesus, we were basically living in barbarism. You were still getting your hands cut off for stealing. You know what I mean? Like, it's Old Testament.
There was still gods.
Jesus brought in a new world. He brought in a whole new, like, he was a revelation. You know what I mean? You can't.
Well,
like,
Jesus was the son of God. He was the Messiah. God sent him down as his only son, which whatever.
Yeah.
Could have been.
Well, even if you don't, let's say you don't even believe that, and I'm making a secular argument. That was the turning point when Jesus was crucified.
This show's turned into the Hake Report.
You know what? I get it
The
everywhere I
Hake
go,
Report.
Jay. So
I don't mind it. I'm here for it.
Hey, I got strong shoulders. I got thick skin, and ain't no bother to me, because at the end of the day, when it all comes down to it, if I'm right and you're wrong, okay? If you're right with your ideology, Miss Penelope, then I understand you have nothing to lose, nothing at all, because you had lived your life. You lived a full, happy life. You had everything you wanted here on earth. And then when you die, you just get eaten by bugs and insects and all that other stuff. Whereas, what about if I'm right, though? If I'm right, then what do you get forward to look to?
And there's no evidence. There's no like scientific evidence that God doesn't exist. Like no credible scientist will tell you that they have proof that God doesn't exist.
Even the atheists that don't believe in nothing, they can read the Bible and they can tell you there's more to it than what they can understand.
Oh, and by the way,
it's just as good of a guess as any. Is what they'll tell you.
So Chris watches a show called Ancient Aliens.
Oh God! Why do you guys? It's Sunday. It's a nice day. It's Memorial Day weekend, and you guys are bringing me down rabbit holes of exhaustion. Jeez, it's too heavy. It's too heavy. What about the troops? Remember the troops that died for our freedom in America.
I don't know. I want to hear your theories on flat Earth. Go ahead.
There's no such thing as flat Earth. But so as far as the atheist of believing in God or not believing in God is my opinion on it is the way that we can, and hear me out here, the way that we can tell that there is some kind of God that made us is just by the design of the human body, just by the DNA sequencing, teeth, stupid freaking things that were designed scientifically, everything around us, and someone had to be an architect and make all that. With that being said, though, God comes from the heavens, which is outside Earth, which is space. With that being said, there is a very high it's 100% possibility that God is an extraterrestrial, which is not from Earth, which everyone knows God's not from Earth. So it could be, but then there's all different. It could be a being of light. It could be a spirit of light. It could be the entire universe is God. It could be an alien, a green alien could be our God. There could be several gods.
God is a spirit. God don't.
You don't know.
Form.
You don't know that.
I do know that. The Bible tells me it. So.
Well, not really. The Bible only tells you that. It tells you several different things, but the only thing it tells you is God came from the heavens and does not live on earth. That's the only thing.
True. But it also says he's a spirit. And he also has the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, 3 in 1, the Holy Trinity. Now, that's going to get down the rabbit hole, but that's the truth.
What's the definition of the Holy Spirit?
I think it's a little bit reaching, though, Chris, like, because just saying that it's because he's not from Earth, he doesn't live with, which the Bible also does say that God is everywhere. So that's not even true. Like, you can't really compare that other than the not living on Earth thing, like as a being and coming from the heavens. You can interpret that as aliens if you wanted to.
Well, it's extraterrestrial, which means outside of Earth.
Yeah, but after that, there's really no other comparison. Like, aliens aren't everywhere.
Yeah.
Aliens aren't always watching you.
So,
which we know.
So sorry to interrupt, but Miss Tammy, what do you think about this?
What does she think about what, Jake? She's listening.
About this conversation.
What do you think about it, Miss Tammy? She's like, well, I think it might be a little bit too much. Miss Tammy's is a gentle soul, and I try to protect Miss Tammy against people that to give them their own ideology. Jake, I'm not
trying to like. And by the way, Krishan's actually been on Hake Report, so this has turned into the Hake Report, Krishan.
Yeah, that's what I'm here for. And my show goes down these routes all the time. So
drama sales, and your channel will go off the chain, and I'll go about my business believing in what I believe in, and it's a good show for you, Jake. That's all I can say.
I'm not trying to like be disrespectful. I'm not trying to be like. I'm not like.
It's no harm for you, Jake. I understand, man. You're just doing you, and I'm
doing what. I'm a Christian myself. I've been in the Southern Baptist for a little over my life. First few years of my life, my mom was Catholic, and then she got baptized in the Baptist church.
Right. So, what's your thought, Jake? You pass away. What happens, Jake?
You know, our soul is not here. Just our soul's not here. Our soul's is not there. Our soul.
Where is it?
The thing. It's in your heart. Sorry. I wasn't trying to be funny, but when the people that passed on are still in your heart. It's still in the people's heart. You just got to believe in it.
So what happens when you pass? Is it still in your? I don't know what to tell you. I don't know, Jake.
Our body might be in the ground, but our soul, the soul and the person is not there. It's either up in heaven, is up there with the Lord.
Absent from the body is presence in the Lord. That's a fact. I died on that wreck. I died in that wreck. 30 foot in the air, I was thrown. Landed on my head on the asphalt on my motorcycle. School teacher ran over me and killed me instantly. And when I hit the asphalt with my skull and it cracked wide open and dislocated my neck, I was instantly with Christ. I didn't see no pearly gates. I didn't see heaven, but I seen Christ stood before me because I wasn't righteous enough to enter into the gates of heaven. And I wasn't prepared anyway. So that's why I'm here talking to to y'all today. Had I been prepared, had I been ready, I wouldn't be back here today. But he's using me like God used a lot of the disciples in the old days, and they was murderers and thieves, tax collectors, but still God used them for his own purpose. He can use us all if we choose to be used, but some people just wants to give you their own thoughts, their own ideology. I give no thoughts to anything that I've said here today.
So there's when what do you think about the Duggars, the Duggar family over in Springdale, Arkansas?
Fuck that.
The Duggars?
I don't know much about the Duggars. I really don't.
They have
Get
19.
enlightened.
They have a show called 19 Kids and Count. They have 19 kids.
They were Mormon or something, right?
Yeah, I'm not into that, but
Yeah,
each their
Mormons
own.
are a little
It's
weird.
their salvation, not mine. And who am I to judge?
Yeah.
I mean, I see your fruits. I mean, I see everyone's fruits, good or bad. But it's not up to me to judge, because if I judge your fruits, then I ain't not considered a judge. When I was judging for Tough Man, I used to watch the fights and see who was the best fighter of the times. And as I sat by Butterbean, as he did the same. Now, as I judged, I was a judge. I made sure that you either won or you lost. And was that right of me to be able to have that much power when the fighter himself was giving it his all? Of course, because I was in that position as a judge. Now, God is the judge of all men. He's the judge of all men. Now, if I'm going around judging each one for their own ideology, am I not considering myself a judge, placing myself above God himself?
Only God could judge people.
Well,
No, I actually disagree there, because in the Bible,
righteous
you-
judgment, yes.
yes,
that is
that's
correct.
what I was going to go with that. Yeah, because
But I
Jesus taught us about righteous judgment, and the reason why he taught us that was because he also wants us to sort of hold each other accountable. Like, so if I see my Christian brother doing something that's sinful, I'm supposed to judge him. But the way I judge it is I'm supposed to judge myself first.
Yeah.
And say, okay, am I doing that same thing, or am I being judged? Like, is this righteous judgment? And then I can go and judge him. You get what I'm saying?
Yes. But then there's some other people that no matter what you judge or how you judge them, they're not going to be listening to any knowledge that you have. There's just some people that don't care. So
Is there a way we could go off the religion topic and see if people in the chat room will stop fucking, if we talk about something other than religion, if they'll stop trying to troll? Because
I think they're into this.
Reverend's made some points on the Christian side. I've stuck up for the chat room with other points, sticking up for them, and they're going at both of our opinions. So they're not here to really talk. They're here to just fuck with us. So can we, if we switch to another topic, will they still fuck with us? That's what I'm asking.
Probably not, because religion is an easy thing to troll about. So it's like it's kind of it's low IQ trolling, to be honest.
the best way to alleviate all of it, guys, is to bid adieu to you all. And Jake, I thank you for allowing me to come up. I appreciate the heat and the fire. Of course, that's what purifies gold.
Hey, any plugs?
No, I don't plug myself, Jake. You know me. If you want to know about me, you got my channel. You know where to find me.
All right, thank you.
All right, good meeting you.
Thank you, Reverend.
All right, Reverend, good to meet you.
Y'all have a wonderful
God
day.
bless. God bless.
Yeah, I don't think Penelope is actually trolling. I think she believes what she's saying.
All right.
I don't believe it.
Hey, so can we go over the AEW card? Can we go over the AEW?
Yeah, we could do an AEW card if you want. Definitely go off topic of that. And it was weird that I said, can we go off topic? And the Reverend left. So it feels like that's all he talks about. So,
Oh, his name is Reverend.
By the way,
before you start on the card, because I'm not an AEW fan, so I don't want to ruin your conversation. But can you guys tell me why you like AEW? Because I just don't get it. And I can tell you why I don't get it if you want me to. But
Yeah, I mean, if you want to tell me why you don't get it first, or if you want me to tell you why.
I just don't see the entertainment value in most of it. Sure, some of the matches are cool to watch, but I just don't understand the idea of watching a wrestling match without knowing the story behind it first. Because otherwise, you're just watching two guys fake fight for no reason, and that's kind of stupid. You know what I mean? So, like, even an exhibition match is supposed to have okay, these two guys are fighting to qualify for a championship match. You know what I mean? Or they're qualifying to do something. There's got to be a reason why you're watching the matches. And I find AEW sometimes is just like, hey, we're going to put Flippy Doo McAllister versus Fuckface McGee. And you guys know them already. So that's going to be the entertainment in it. So at least WWE, and I'm not trying to make this WWE versus AEW thing, but the reason why I like it more is because they do try, even though they fail most of the time in their storylines, but they give me a reason to go, okay, at least this is why they're wrestling. But even them, they do it a lot of the times too, where I'm like, I don't even understand why I should give a fuck about this.
Right. So it's both WWE and AEW both go into their little like when I stopped watching WWE years ago, it was the end of the Vince McMahon era before TKO. Vince was still in charge and shit. And that's why WWE turned me off, because he was just throwing random people in the ring with no back storyline. And the past about 6 months and before that, for about a good year, Tony Khan was doing the same shit. He was throwing random wrestlers in the ring together, and they had no storyline behind it. But the past 6 months, he's noticed that, and he's been starting to actually put serious long-term storylines into play with not all the matches, because it's hard, because you have all the talent you're paying. They need TV time, and it's very hard to have everyone in a storyline as well.
Got you. Maybe I haven't seen. I kind of plugged out for a while, so I don't know. Maybe there are storylines, and I'm not seeing.
Chris,
I haven't seen them.
Right. Chris, you were right. It's going head to head with WWE's NXT Battleground live streaming.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. And NXT I don't watch either because of the same reason. It's just a bunch of hey, look at the athletics of these guys, and I'm like, wrestling isn't about that. It's about these two guys want to rip each other's heads off for this reason. You know what I mean? And now we're going to watch it. So I just don't feel like wrestling in general doesn't do it enough, but I just wasn't getting that from AEW. Now, the second thing too is also the style of it, like the flipping around. Like there's too much of that goes on. And I'm cool with that as long as it's in the right spot.
Yeah.
But I feel like a lot of it is just more just resting on that than anything.
It's I see the chat room. After we stopped talking about religion, Penelope left, so I figured that would happen. Considering her last name is Parasite, she seems like she's trolling. Do you know her?
No, I don't. Let's go through this card.
And then Reverend said he could talk any other subject, but he didn't like the hate, which I didn't think there was any hate. I think it was just back and forth opinions.
Yep.
I mean, Penelope was being a little out of pocket with the way she was going about it, but I'm cool with that. I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah, I don't care either.
Let's go through this card.
I wouldn't call it hate necessarily.
All right, let's do the quick card. And Jake Hudson and Chris Peeps' AEW Double or Nothing predictions.
Yes, sorry. Before you guys do that, let me get out of here so I don't ruin your conversation.
No, you can stay. It's going to take us literally. Jake goes through it. It's going to take us less than 2 minutes.
All right, go ahead. I'll step away for a minute.
All right.
All right. We have first we have Megan Bain and Penelope. This is for the pre-show. Megan Bain and Penelope Ford versus Anna Jay and Armory Cameron for nothing.
All right, Jake.
I'm gonna say Jay and Cameron.
Nope, I'm saying Megan Bain wins.
It's a tag match.
Yeah, Megan Bain and Penelope are going to beat them.
All right, we have.
But also keep in mind that there's going to be a female wrestler possibly debuting tonight at the pay-per-view. It's that red spider that keeps coming down the screen. So who knows when that could probably happen with the Tony Storm match further in
All
there.
right, so we have Jamie Hagar. No, Jamie.
Sammy
Hayter-
Hagar,
No, Jamie Hayer or Hayter.
Jamie Hayter, come on. Go ahead.
Jamie Hayter versus Mercedes Malo or Mono
Monet.
for the Owen Hart Female Cup. Winner gets an AEW Women's World Title match at All In Texas.
Uh-huh.
I think Jamie's gonna win.
I think Mercedes is gonna win.
The Hurt Syndicate versus the Sons of Texas for the AEW World Tag Team Champions. Is the Son of Texas the Ring of Honor?
Yes.
They could have put. Damn it!
What?
They could do a Stand by Your Belt match and have the Ring of Honor and unify the Ring of Honor and AEW World Tag Titles.
Yeah, they're two separate corporations. They can't unify them. That would be something WWE would do, unify them. Well, I mean, they used to kind of try to unify, but
Yeah, the Hurt Syndicate versus the Sons of Texas. The
All
Hurt
right.
Syndicate will win. The Hurt Syndicate will win.
yeah, absolutely, the Hurt Syndicate's gonna win. But MJF could possibly. I don't know if they're gonna play it net. I think they see that's another storyline that they're building on is the whole MJF thing. Joining the Hurt Syndicate, and then now he had them sign a contract, which there's some kind of fraudulent things in the contract, and so MJF will eventually turn on the Hurt Syndicate, but I don't think it'll happen right away. It's going to be a longer storyline, but he could make them lose the titles.
Yeah,
All right.
Thomas Tony Storm versus Mina Sanuka.
Shirakawa, Jake.
I can't say any of the Japanese names.
You can't say any names.
For the AEW Women's World Championship, and Luther's in this match.
I know. I'm going to say Tony Storm retains, but then I could also say that possibly Mariah May could come back and do something.
All right, a stretcher match. Mark
You didn't pick
Briscoe.
no one.
I did.
Who?
Tony.
Mhm.
All right. We at FTR versus Garcia and McGinnis. Nigel McGuinness is in this match.
Yep.
I thought he doesn't wrestle anymore.
He doesn't. He's a commentator, but FTR kept going after him on the commentating desk, and he stuck up for himself.
Yeah, so I'm gonna say this is like I remember when Nigel McGuinness worked in TNA as Wolf, not as Wolf as a wrestler when Daniel Bryan Danielson went to WWE. Nigel McGuinness went to TNA.
Yep.
And he caught sickness from it.
Yeah.
FTR I'm gonna say FTR will win.
Yeah, I'm kind of gonna say that Nigel might win.
All right, we have Mark Briscoe versus Ricochet in a stretcher match.
And first ever stretcher match. It's gonna be good.
Yeah, by the way, I did say Ricochet because he is shit.
Yeah, I think Ricochet's gonna win.
All right, we have Omega.
Who'd you pick? Ricochet?
I said Rick. I'm gonna say Mark Briscoe.
All right.
Omega, Strickland, Nightingale, and the Ops versus the Death Riders: Moxley, Casanoli, Shafir, Utah, and the Bucks of Young. Michael Jackson, Matthew Jackson, and Nick
Michael Jackson.
and an attorney in a yard match.
Anarchy in the arena.
Yeah, and by the way, this is not going to be.
You said attorney in the yard match.
Yeah. This is, by the way, I just want to let people know that this is the first pay-per-view that's going to be in in Arizona.
in the desert.
Yeah, all right. I'm gonna say Omega's team will win.
Yeah, I'm gonna say some Samoa Joe and the Ops and all them.
Yeah. Okada versus Bailey for the Continental Championship.
Okada.
Okada will win.
Yeah.
The Paragon, Adam Cole, baby. Kyle O'Reilly and Roger Strong versus the Don Callis family. Take a shitta, Fletcher and Alexander and Josh Alexander. All right, go ahead. Make your jokes now.
Fuck Don Callis. Is that what you want me to say?
No, I just said take a shitta instead of
Yeah, well, you better put some respect on Takeshita's name because he's the alpha. He's one of the greatest wrestlers, and that's why I'm gonna pick him as
Don Callis has always. Here's the thing: Don Callis has always been a snake in this business. Don
Yeah.
Callis is a fucking snake.
yeah.
The only reason why he got famous is because he snake around. Back in the day, the only reason why Kenny Omega won the belt because Don Callis cheated that time.
Yeah, I don't know.
Don Callis was there as a guest. He wasn't there as work. He was not supposed to do that.
Fuck Don Callis.
All right, we have the main event. It's going to
So
be
who'd you
Hangman-
pick? Who'd you pick? I picked the Callis family to win.
The Callis family.
Oh, so you picking them too? All right.
But Don Callis family will win with fuckery from Don Callis.
Correct.
Hangman Adam Page versus Will Ospreay for the cup, for the men's Owen Hart Cup. Winner gets the AEW World Title match at All In Texas.
Yeah, this is a hard one.
Ospreay
Mm.
will win.
Yeah, this is a difficult one. I don't know. I kind of feel like Hangman's going to win for some reason. Because you got to think, so whoever's going to win this, it'll end up being Moxley versus either Ospreay, Moxley versus Hangman.
But Moxley's the champion now?
Moxley's been the champion.
I thought Strickland took the belt.
No. Well, Moxley's been the champion for 300 and some days, almost a year. And we haven't seen the belt. The belt's been hidden in a briefcase for a year. No one's even seen the AEW belt. Which maybe during the Anarchy in the Arena match, maybe they will, maybe they'll open the briefcase, see if there's anything in there.
It's like Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Samoa Joe should have beat Moxley for the title in the steel cage. Samoa Joe is badass.
Did you see
So-
hey, Krishan, did you see Don Callis has always been a snake in this business.
Don Callis. Is that the guy who was
Cyrus
Cutting
the
over.
virus, Cyrus the virus in ECW.
Oh.
He was
I knew
Cyrus
he
the
looked
virus. He
familiar.
was Cyrus in ECW. He was the TV exec.
I don't know enough about him to to call him a snake in the business. I don't know.
Hey, here's the thing. He's been in every company. He has screwed every company he's ever been in.
How does he screw the company though? Like, what did he do?
He
Doesn't show up or something?
He does a lot of he gets paid the big money, then he tears the company a new asshole.
Didn't he have a he had a stable in WWE at one point, right?
Oh,
With Kurgan.
the oddities.
Yeah, but it was before that. It was like some other group. I forget what they were
Shrimp
called.
Commission? No.
Yes, the Truth Commission.
That sucked. Everything. Here's the thing. Everything. And by the way, I heard Luna Vachon hated ICP.
Yeah, I saw something about that too.
Well, to be fair, I heard ICP do interviews that they said they weren't being treated well by WWE either.
They were
So I
supposed
don't
to.
know.
Here's what they were supposed to. They were supposed for their music. They didn't even charge. They just wanted people to. They wanted free advertising for their shows.
Yeah. And WWE never did it, so they just left one day because they were promised. They were like, "All right, this commercial break, we're gonna run the ad for your album," and they didn't.
Yeah.
They just left.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
They went to
Eminem.
WCW too.
Eminem didn't like ICP either. Though.
Mm-hmm.
and also, I saw. Did you see? Have you
Well,
ever
Eminem
seen-
used to worship ICP, and then
But by the way, have you seen the Howard Stern clip of ICP going after Sharon Osbourne?
no.
No, I don't know.
They went out Sharon Osbourne. Here's the thing: Howard didn't want Sharon to sit down with ICP because they thought it was going to be a fight.
Oh,
But I do.
what?
wanna say
Sharon was
that-
gonna fight them?
No, ICP was going to fight Sharon.
I doubt
Dude,
that.
Ozzy would have them disappear overnight. He has
No,
so
I-
many connections.
I doubt they would even do that though. They don't like seem like those type of dudes. In their music, they do, but
Yeah, and so they said that they regret the music they make.
they said that.
Yeah,
So why don't they stop performing it every tour?
they're legally obligated.
Jake, your
That's not
girlfriend,
true.
your girlfriend Cookie's in the chat.
Oh, hey, what's up,
Oh.
Cookie? She's not my girlfriend. She's my
Oh.
friend.
Oh, I thought you guys were dating.
Oh, shut
I hear
up.
she's sweet.
Sweet in the face.
By the way, sorry, Cookie.
I hear she's delicious.
No,
Yep.
Chris.
I
She said
didn't-
no, Chris.
'Cause she's a
Hot in the face.
All right.
No, we're just friends.
Uh,
Oh.
you said that you might have gotten her pregnant, is what you told me.
Shut up, Chris. Shut
Oh,
up.
I
You told
can't
me-
say that. It allegedly.
Sorry.
He didn't say that to me, but he did say that he gave her a smooch.
Oh.
Dang it. Chris.
All right, I'm not doing it no more. I'm sorry. I'm lying.
I'm sorry, Cookie.
I'm lying.
I'm sorry. They're trying to shot jock. Sorry.
But I mean,
She's just friend. She's just my friend. She's just.
Hey,
a
Cookie, why
friend,
don't you
Chris.
take your top off, hon?
no, you can't go. You can't be.
He said we're getting chalk knocks.
I can't be like that.
Sorry.
Well, no, I mean, if you're a pretty girl on the internet with videos, I'm sure that she probably gets a lot of crazy ass guys messaging her or whatever.
But I'm in a
Yes,
group chat
John.
with her. I'm in a group chat with her and her sister and others.
Like
if you're a moderately good looking woman on the internet, you're getting some kind of attention.
Right.
Yeah.
and then that's another thing is if you're a good looking young girl or a woman on the internet is you could put a video of doing and you name it in the world, you could do it and
Oh, like making hot
perverted
dogs?
guys will watch it.
Like making hot dogs.
Yeah, making hot. Well,
Yeah,
see
it
that.
just has to be somewhat suggestive, and it's the internet.
Hey,
gonna
remember
watch
that
it.
girl Sunshine's?
Yes. I just watched her new video came out today in the afternoon. I watched it already, and she's a little different. Yeah, she's hot. She's cute, pretty, big boobs, nice butt, and everything. Which I think that's what got me to watch the channel to begin with was the thumbnail. But then once I started watching her, I was like, oh, she's a nice girl. She's showing people how to start a business and stuff. Like it's more educational. I don't check out her ass anymore. I listen to like how she did with business, how much money she made. It's interesting.
Yeah, I hear that's how you got your name, Chris Peeps.
Why? Because I was checking girls out. I've heard that one before.
Give me a button.
But Reverend Wild Bill is another Reverend you're friends with, Jake?
Reverend Wild Bill, no, that's one of Bobby Nick's friends.
Oh boy.
My God, all these Reverend people you watch, Jake. Jeez.
No, Reverend Wild Bill is not a.
Jake's a God-fearing
he's
man.
not a good person. He's not a good person. He's a Bobby Nick supporter.
So is he a reverend in name only?
Yeah.
Or Rhino? All right. I'll stop with
You can call yourself Reverend Krishan the Don from the Misfit Nation.
I don't think I ever did.
No, I say you can. You could.
Oh, I could, yeah. It's like the Reverend Bob Levy. Is he really a reverend?
No.
Yeah, see?
Bob Levy's
I'm a
joke.
Actually, to be honest, and Jake knows this, and I don't advertise it because I'm not an asshole like everyone else, I guess. But I am actually an ordained minister. I don't know if it's considered a reverend, but I can marry people. I actually married Jake live on my show a couple of years ago.
Jake's married?
Twice.
No,
I married him twice.
no.
Once to Melissa, and then the second time, who was the other person?
Isn't that illegal? Well, you are
Probably. It's probably illegal and everything, but yeah, I'm an ordained minister. I signed up like fucking 20 years ago. I have the certificate and everything.
Yeah, it's actually not hard to become an ordained.
No, all I did was I think I sent them $5 and they sent me their certificate.
Is that cheap? Wow.
It was 20 years ago. It was like when the internet first started.
All right, we're gonna go. We're actually. I have to. How about us going to a weather channel instead of Bobby Nick today?
Go to the
No,
wedding.
I am actually an ordained minister is what they called me. The church, I forget what the church was.
Ordained
The
priest
church-
is, I think, a little different. I think they have to go through a whole
Yeah.
thing. So he's Catholic.
So I don't know.
Reverend Wild Bill. I just want to say I don't want people coming into my chat. Here's the thing. There's people that are going into people's chats telling people that I'm saying shit about.
What are
Bobby
they
Nick.
saying that you said?
Yeah.
Basically, they're saying that I need mental health.
Yeah.
I mean, we all do.
Listen, I administered the psychopath test to Jake, and I won't tell you the results till my first live show, but I'll tell you that yes, Jake does need mental health. That's a fact.
Oh, you did an
What-
actual test on him?
Yes, I did. I have it recorded. I did him. I did another guy who we used to be friends with, Ed, who's close to him. And I have the whole segment set up for my first live new show, which should be in a couple months.
Oh, geez.
Hey, Krishan. So guys, I think we're gonna end soon.
But Jake, I mean, that's all they're saying about you. Not a big deal.
Yeah, all
Yeah,
right.
you can let that one roll off your back.
Yeah,
So,
and
Krishan,
there was a couple nights where I was going to tell Bobby Nick for me to go on his show and have him explain to me how the falling out happened between you guys, but I didn't want to pull the trigger and shit. So
This is how you deal with it, Jake. You go in there and you go, you know what? Maybe
it's all
I am a little
because
fucking
of
crazy.
Wendy. It's all because of Wendy from the Howard Stern show.
I feel like it was all.
She,
I feel like it was all because you
got
like
jealous.
doxed Bobby's phone number or something.
No,
You
I
did
didn't.
that?
I gave it to one. I gave it to one person. And
I feel like
What
that
was
was
the
the point
thing?
that
The number though.
it was,
I
it was-
told
it
Jake.
was-
I told Jake this. I said So whenever I had the show back in the day, and he should have remembered how the protocol was. The protocol is there's always people that are going to say, "Hey, can you get me Chris Peeps' phone number so I can talk to him?" And the number one rule everyone had in the community was if someone asked for someone's phone number, you tell that person they're asking about, say, "Hey, so Avalaker is looking for Bobby Nick's phone number. Is that okay if I give it to him?" And you ask Bobby Nick that and let him decide, or say, "Here's Avalanker's phone number. Bobby, if you want to reach out to him, you can or you can't." And you leave it up to them. Jake did the wrong thing by just giving him the number.
So is this what started the beef?
I think so.
No, this was the beef was no, this was the beef was. Here's the thing. This was all started because Wendy, the slow adult, had to run her little mouth about stuff. We were all good until Wendy wanted to do shows. Every day I would try to do a show after BF Live because that's the only time Bobby and Nick was available. But every time I tried to do a show, it says, "Oh no, I can't because Wendy had asked me first."
What came first though? Was it you giving the number or them cutting you out of the shows? Honestly,
Sorry, you know what? This is your show. This is your show. Bye.
Jake, we're just trying to feel you out, Jake. We're not on anyone's side or nothing.
I'm trying to understand what's going on because I'm
think
still trying to get why you and Bobby Nick are on the outs.
Well, the point that Jake's making right now is that I know how Jake feels, and this is what he's saying. It was kind of the Wendy thing was kind of before the phone number situation, but the results of them falling out happened all together at once. So it could have been part of both of them.
It was all like close enough for it to be all just connected.
Yeah, but on Jake's end, what Jake is saying is that so Jake had an issue with Wendy, and Jake said, "Wendy, you're begging for money for your cat. Why don't you have Beth Stern, Howard Stern's wife, who runs an animal rescue, contact her and she'll help you for free and everything," which was a good idea. Wendy took it the wrong way and said that she didn't listen. So Jake was trying to help her.
Let me say, here's what I was saying. They thought I said ask Howard for the money. No, I said ask Howard to see if his wife could help you, Wendy. That's what I was trying to say. Now, I wasn't asking you to ask Howard for the money. I was seeing it because here's the thing. Here's the thing. She might know people in that area. Beth does a lot of stuff. Beth might or not have but she might know somebody in that area that could do the
absolutely
care for free, for low cost or for free. It doesn't cost $5,000. That's what she was trying to get was $5,000 so she can take
right.
Oh, so you think she was trying to grift a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay. Now let me ask you this though: is Howard Stern? Because I know he's
Stern never gave her money. She said
no. Wait. That's not my question. Is Howard Stern and his people still in contact with the Whack Pack? They are. They still reach out to them and
Wolfie does it now instead of Shuli used to do it. Now it's Wolfie.
Okay, yeah, I thought Howard cut all that off.
No, they still keep in touch. I believe the last time Wendy had a segment on there was
the Robert England episode.
No, it was after that too. It was after that it was probably 2 months ago. She hasn't been on in a while. So it might, because she's been on Bobby's stream 24/7. I don't know why you wouldn't be sitting at the phone for Wolfie's call to come on air and then just go on Bobby Nick's channel instead is not smart.
But she's also on late night. She usually gets up about 2 or 3 o'clock p.m.
Right. So with that being said, her last segment I heard, I believe it was about maybe a month and a half ago on Stern. And she was talking about, she was trying to promote her YouTube channel and that she's got her boyfriend, Bobby Dick, she called him and shit. And it was her trying to get money and begging for money on YouTube, and they were going about that. That's the last time she was actually on. They mentioned
here's the thing.
Her and Bobby Nick are together.
Yeah.
that's what she said, I guess.
I mean, I'm happy for them.
But here's the thing. What makes me like want to not believe her is, I know that if you take it, and she said she needed $5,000 to get her car fixed.
She can't drive though.
No, she's trying to get her mom's car fixed. But the thing
Now, is Bobby Nick holding her like, you can't go do Howard's show? Like, you're my property?
No, I don't think so. But
Okay,
I think
I'm not making.
I think-
Chris, does it cost $5,000 for parts?
no, not really. It's not going to cost you $5,000. So, but the gist of it that you're trying to say, Jake, is that she's trying to get money from people.
Yeah, with
and
Bobby
she's
feels-
begging for money. Although, you guys, yes, she's going above and beyond. But you guys are similar with the whole money situations because
but it's not me like telling it's me making realistic goals instead of like her trying to get money like $5,000. Her car, she might have spent because it might be like $1,000 to $1,500 worth of repair that she needed.
she's not. Here's the thing, Jake, is neither one of you guys really know what money is. She has no has no clue what she's talking about, because when she's on Howard and they ask her, hey, how much does it cost for a new car? And she goes, I don't know, 1,300,000, 600,000, maybe 12,000, maybe $7. She has no clue what the value of a dollar is. And also keep in mind is you or Wendy could not get over $500 a year from anyone, and that's why when Howard has to pay her, he pays her in DoorDash food, Costco runs, and food and shit like that. He can't give her fucking money.
It's
'cause
almost
she's on
like
disability.
it's almost like the equivalent of getting mad at Beetlejuice for misspelling something.
Right.
It's like that's kind of what he does.
Right. Both of you are on disability. You can't get money. So the whole money situation is fake. If someone gave her $5,000, she would lose her disability.
Also, I think I get where you're coming from, Chris, because it's also like usually when people need money for something, they'll kind of just go online and do their thing, and they won't say, hey, I need to pull money for this specific thing. Like I need to pay my rent or something. Even people like just regular streamers that do that are just like odd to me. I think it's a weird thing. It shows that you have like a social thing, a social disorder. Which I think you do have, right?
It's equivalent to when you're gambling, doing a slot machine and everything is doing a live show for money. Is that when someone does donate to you, it gives you your endorphins of like you gambled and you won.
It's almost like watching Opie, where he's just mentally ill. Well, he'll do a show where he just stares at his chat and waits for super chats all day and not talk about anything until a super chat comes in.
Yeah, but that's retarded.
Yeah, kind of what we're saying.
I mean, Jake don't do that either. But like, I know when I had my show, but the new show, I'm not going to mention, donating or supporting the channel. I'm not even going to mention it. It'll be available. You can donate if you want. And when you do donate, you could have a message. And then in like the third quarter of the show, I'll say, all right, we have, a couple tips. I'm going to call them tips instead of donations. We have a couple tips, and I'll just read people's messages for a segment, and that'll be that'll be the tips. I'm not going to make a big deal about it. I'm not going to ring a bell when I get a tip.
I see what you're
But that's
saying. Like when I promote
the
my
old
Biden coffee, I do it more like, hey, if you got it and you want to support, go ahead.
Right.
If
That's what I did with the old show. I would say, "Hey, we got the donations," and they would come up on the screen when you donated. It would come up. Different donation amounts came up with different little audio packages and gifs, and then you get your message. It would interrupt the show. So I would say, if you guys want to support the show, you can. If not, whatever.
yeah, that's kind of how you got to look at it.
Yeah, you can't e-beg.
Actually, my fans are the ones that kind of like pushed me to do it because they were like, "We want to support you," but
Right.
and I'm like, "All right, fuck it, I'll do it if you're asking me."
So yeah, I mean, it's good. It's good money. And if you guys want to donate to Jake Hudson,
Yes.
you can buy me a coffee. What else, Jake? Venmo, Cash App,
Cloud Dog something, right?
cloutchaser.com. We should do a service called ebeggars.com and you could get your money from there.
Make me feel important.com.
You guys could donate ebeggar.com/Jake Hudson.
Just call it no dog. I really need this.com.
But no, Jake, with the Wendy thing, Jake was trying to make a valid point. Jake was right that Wendy doesn't know what she's talking about with money. She doesn't need that money, and that Jake was right that if she contacted Beth, she would get free. They would help her cat for free.
Maybe.
Here's the thing. And Howard is actually going to be mad at Wendy for not contacting him about the cat.
If he finds out about it, yeah, he'll be pissed. He'll say Wendy, which it could have been a made up story too, though.
Yeah,
I was gonna say maybe she got mad because Jay kind of exposed a little bit of a little too much.
Yeah, and the thing is, like,
maybe she knew a little bit, or somebody who was helping her with it knew a little more than
exactly.
I understand money, and Jay kind of came in being good hearted, like exposed it. Yeah,
Yep.
Yeah, because there's out there there's good, honest veterinarians that will. There's people all over the country that do low cost vet care because people are on social. There's people that can't afford the big bills. They'll just go to like these people like Dr. Jeff over in Colorado.
Right. Yeah. So that's not the question. We know that's not the question. The thing is because if it was true and our cat had an issue and needed a vet, she could absolutely reach out to anyone in Beth or Howard Stern Circle, and then they would say, "Hey, Wendy, we work with a hospital, and they're only 10 miles away from your house, and they're going to do it for free, guaranteed." But so Wendy got mad at Jake for him like calling her out, and Wendy's not the person where she's doing it on purpose. Wendy was doing this because she didn't know any better. That's why she was saying it. Maybe her mom said to her earlier in the day, said, "Oh, this is going to cost so much money," and then she didn't know better, and she was just like, "Hey, maybe I could get YouTube to help me on it," and she didn't think it out. So you can't blame her for doing it because she doesn't know what she's talking about. So she got mad at Jake. They got into and said Jake's a piece of crap and got into a fight. And then after that happened, Bobby Nick started having Wendy on all the time. So now it feels like that Wendy was being mean to Jake, and Bobby Nick replaced Jake with her.
And Bobby Nick took her side.
Yep.
Yeah.
Got it. Which he did. He kind of did.
And also the thing is, it's like, by the way, I just want to say thank you to my guest for coming. I think I got a banner for this.
Show is over. No, don't do it.
He's cutting us off.
Don't do it, Jake.
No, I just want to say thank you to the people on the dais for coming.
Wait. Cookie said, Wild Bill, I warned you about mentioning Bobby in this live last night.
Oh yeah, she banned him, but I don't think that was fair, to be honest, because we were talking about Bobby Nick. We brought him up.
No, I banned him. I banned Wild Bill.
Oh.
I mean, you can't
Yeah,
stop people from talking about what they want to talk about in different people's chats. You guys are all in the same little universe, so
Yeah, you're gonna make people like scared to type in your chat, and then you won't have as many comments as you could have.
yep. So
Kinda
I
cut
mean,
your own legs off.
that's why I think you should just. I mean, I'll be honest. I would. Here's the thing: is if you and Bobby ain't gonna make up, talking about the situation openly and how you feel about it, is I think is good because it's gonna. You guys could go back and forth and get views off of it.
But I'm not going to have him on the show because he's going to control the narrative, and I wish him well. And I'll see you guys. I will talk to you guys. Stay back and talk to you guys. But
Oh,
talk to you
Jesus.
later, bye.